I have with me NV Subhash, BJP spokesperson. And thank you, Mr. NV Subhash. And of course, a tall leader. India has lost the technocrat, the architect of the country's economy. And talking about the PV Narasimha Rao government with Dr. Manmohan Singh as a strategic peg in bringing about a transformation in the economy of the country. Do you think the foundation was laid by the Narasimha Rao and Manmohan Singh government to ensure India is on the upward trajectory of the largest, fastest growing economy in the world today?
Exactly. I support your the system, the dialogue here, what you are trying to say. But before that, when we hear Dr. Manmohan Singh's the statement about how he has become the finance minister and the prime minister of this country, let me go back to 1990. In that, what we have seen, Dr. Manmohan Singh has a very good friend of Mr. Narasimha Rao, and then we often used to see him both talking about economic policies when both are not in the parliament, and he's a bureaucrat, Dr. Manmohan Singh. We used to wonder as a family member that what these people are really talking about it. And when we see, in the Rashtrapati Bhavan, when he's dressed up, and then he has become the cabinet minister in the Narasimha Rao's government, and then immediately he was making, the finance minister. We were 100% sure that something is going to happen here for this country. And today, after 35 years of economic liberalization policy, Narasimha Rao's and Dr. Manmohan Singh's duo, where they have laid the foundation for the Vikasit Bharat, what we are now enjoying the fruits. Definitely, this is a very good the gesture. And let me tell you one thing, that both people wanted to develop India. They have no personal agenda, they have no family agenda, nor they have no party agenda on that. First is the nation first. And the successive governments, which was led by other, the prime ministers for other the political parties, they have succeeded in making the foundation more strong, building on the foundation of economic liberalization, where we have seen 5 trillion economy, and we are the fourth largest economy in the world. This is a welcome, the gesture, welcome move. There were so much of the difference of opinion within the Congress party itself. There are more foes than friends in the Congress party when Narasimha Rao wanted to open up the liberalization policy with the help of Dr. Manmohan Singh. And there were so many brickbats in the CWC meeting and in the cabinet meeting whether this is going to happen or not. But ultimately, taking the advantage of the minority government, I say that the advantage of the minority government, Narasimha Rao's government has arm-twisted the other political party leaders for making a good, the budget presentation, and the successive years, which has led to the foreign direct investment also.
Yes.
And the budget has been presented. Now we see, someone has to take some kind of initiative, and someone has to take some, the bold steps. The bold steps, though Rajiv Gandhi had 425 parliamentarians in, the parliament, Rajiv Gandhi could not even dare to open up, the liberalization, the license Raj. But 213 parliamentarians, as far as I remember, in Narasimha Rao's government, the parliament, they had, the numbers. They have taken the advantage. Again, I say because they wanted to do something for the good of the country.
Right.
Where Dr. Manmohan Singh is instrumental because he is a bureaucrat. He knows the subject. He knows about the finance. He's a brilliant person. And, Narasimha Rao has shielded him as a finance minister. And then I just go further for a minute and then say that I think 2 or 3 times, as far as I remember, Dr. Manmohan Singh wanted to resign from the cabinet because there are so much of opposition within the his cabinet colleagues because of so much of opening up the the just economic liberalization, where there are so much of opposition within the party itself. But as a shield, Narasimha Rao has protected him so that country will go exponentially high. That's what we see now
Right.
in
Also, do you think,
what we see.
while we talk about the legacy of Dr. Manmohan Singh, and I mean, when we are talking about Manmohan Singh, we inadvertently have to also talk about PV Narasimha Rao, because both of them were able to bring about this massive transformation on the social front as well as the economic front in the country. But do you think somewhere Dr. Manmohan Singh carried on with the Congress government right from Indira Gandhi's time, then Rajiv Gandhi, then PV Narasimha Rao, and then of course Sonia Gandhi. But PV Narasimha Rao's tenure after his prime ministership was brought into the back burner. He wasn't given the kind of precedence that may have been expected of a man who brought about the transformation that India required desperately at that time.
See, there are so many, the bureaucrats who have been working in the finance department and RBI governors also, some, the retired people, and so many people who have worked for the finance commission also. But identifying a person of, the caliber and making him as the finance minister, and because he is never in politics, Dr. Manmohan Singh was never in politics. He is neither a corporator nor a, the member of parliament. But identifying him and then making, motivating him to implement the policies which are good for the country. So that is the important thing. And once Manmohan Singh, once Narasimha Rao has limited the office, and then we see what kind of treatment he got from the Congress party. But Manmohan Singh, being the CWC member and very close to Sonia Gandhi and other people also, he could make sure that he wanted to make sure that he has made some path for the country, which the successive government and successive parties have also just adapted. And the best part in the Congress party, that being just electing him as the prime minister of this country, though he did not have any power, but he made sure that there was no issues related to the finance as well as economic liberalization policies, which he was instrumental in implementing on that. He made sure that India progresses. What we see the GDP at that time in 2010-12, that the followed by the successive governments of Narendra Modi also, the path which has been laid by his predecessors has been very, very instrumental. And we see the growth exponentially today. And then we are proud that we have a good leaders like Mr. Narasimha Rao and Dr. Manmohan Singh and Narendra Modi and the Vajpayee, who had always thought of making India a vibrant India.
Right, absolutely. And talking about Dr. Manmohan Singh's prime ministership, UPA 1 and UPA 2, and could you extol upon the number of transformational policy changes that he brought about? One that comes to mind particularly, the Indo-US nuclear deal that built the foundations for the India and US strategic partnership.
Exactly. Narasimha Rao was very clear, because he was the foreign minister also. At that time, he has implemented the Look East policy. As we remember, we always ignored eastern bloc of the country, especially Asian countries also. But the Look East policy was very, very successful on that. Following that, when Dr. Manmohan Singh has become the prime minister, there was so much of Bars Forum, so much of something from the US, where we are not supposed to do this, that, and everything. But Manmohan Singh was very clear about it. The policies of West, where without troubling them, he has very sophisticatedly and very good, with the gesture, with his mildness and with his intellectual capacity, which is bureaucrat experience, and of course, the political experience. He had transformed the whole country. That is the best thing, and we really miss him today. That we have lost so much of a knowledge. When we repeat the history, when we go back to the history, what Narasimha Rao and Dr. Manmohan Singh duo has done for this country, it is very, very remarkable achievement, where everyone now are appreciating, irrespective of the political affiliations. Also, when we see Dr. Narendra Modi ji has gone first in the morning and then paid tributes, and then he has given a tweet which he has mentioned so many things about Dr. Manmohan Singh, which is very rarely seen. A person who
Yeah.
worked in other political party, also difference ideology, difference of opinions, difference of so many governments also. A person who has done sacrifice for the country is been appreciated by all walks of life.
Right, absolutely.